What's going on, Baseliners? Welcome to another episode of the Baseline Facetime podcast. We are so glad that you are here. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and welcome to the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Baseline Facetime podcast, episode number 8. It is July 10th, right? Yeah.
July 10th.
Yep. And, first off, I want to start off. We got an Instagram page now.
Yes, we do.
So you can keep up with the show, which is awesome. And I'd really like that. But Troy, we got to get into the big bucks today.
The big bucks. I think you're referring to Mr. Patrick Mahomes.
I was referring to the actual Bucks, but no,
Bucks.
I'm playing with you. Patrick Mahomes. What was he? He was the MVP of last season?
MVP the season before and Super Bowl MVP this past year.
And Super Bowl MVP. And he just landed a massive contract. Troy, would you like to explain this contract?
Yeah, so he is now signed to the Chiefs through 2031, which,
God damn.
I mean, that just sounds like a really long time ago.
That's commitment.
He's tied there for a long time. So a 10-year extension on his contract worth $450 million with a chance in, bonuses and things like that to get up to $503 million in earnings. Patrick Mahomes, the 24-year-old kid out of Texas Tech, is now getting paid.
And they say men are afraid of commitment. That's 10 years right there. Now, that's absurd. I mean, this is also the biggest contract, I believe, in sports history, right?
I think so, in terms of, maybe not annual salary, but in terms of just the longevity of that. Yeah. It is very long. And
I noticed on our sheet here, you put some of his stats here, some crazy things that he's accomplished. Mm-hmm. Like to go down that list of accomplishments?
Yeah, so Mahomes been in the league 3 years, 2 years in the NFL as a starter. 2018, like we mentioned, he won the league MVP, passing for over 5,000 yards and 50 passing touchdowns. That is a lot. And then 2019 Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion, and 4,000 yards and 26 touchdowns last year, only in, I think, 14 or 15 starts. And so, he's been so good at such a young age. And even though he did throw 2 interceptions in that Super Bowl, I don't think he should have won MVP. But that's just me. But Super Bowl champion at the age of 24, and he just got a big contract.
People love quarterbacks, especially him. He's just, when I look at him, I see someone who's very marketable, mm-hmm. and most importantly, he's very unique, and especially when I look at him, I feel like he just doesn't throw the ball normally. Like, you ever notice that? The way he throws is kind of like a baseball, which makes sense, because did you know his dad was like a baseball player?
Yeah. He was a pitcher.
Yeah,
I think for the Mets.
Really?
So, shout out to the Mets, yeah. Maybe a few different teams, but I think on the Mets, yep.
That is absurd. What do you think of these big bucks? Like, I feel like it really shows you how far athletes have come when it comes to money.
That's for sure. I mean, yeah, the dude's getting paid, and congratulations to him. I mean, like you said, he is a very marketable guy, very fun to watch.
Does he have a sneaker deal?
Key with that, I have no idea.
He needs a sneaker deal.
He's fun to watch. He's a good athlete. Have you seen him play basketball? I've seen some highlights of him playing.
He can
play.
Really?
He can play, and I'm sure he can play baseball, considering Pops was in the majors. Like, he's a good athlete, and he's getting paid, so well deserved there. Anything you think about this, like, kind of new era of quarterbacks that we've entered into?
We're getting to a point where I think I was watching a TED Talk about it, where if you look at athletes from back then and you look at athletes today, their bodies are very different. Like LeBron James, freak of an athlete, mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes, freak of an athlete, you know what I mean? So, I mean, they're just physically stronger and better. I mean, that makes sense because every generation is supposed to be better than the next, right?
Sure.
So, I mean, like, it makes sense, especially with, football being such a very physical sport. And again, it's like, if you get injured throughout those years, football, it's not a guaranteed contract, right? That's just how the NFL works.
Depends on how it works. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, just looking at the numbers, it's
Mahomes ridiculous. Has a lot guaranteed. I know that.
A lot guaranteed?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it'll...
The era, I think we're in a good era of sports where we're going to see the top best records being broken, just best athletes possible. Mm-hmm. I think that's what we're going to witness.
That's for sure, and we're definitely have entered into a new era of quarterbacks. I mean, you've still got some of the guys that have been doing it for a long time, and Brady, who we've talked about recently on our show. You got Drew Brees, who's still putting up big numbers in New Orleans, and but we've got three new young guys who've been in the league 2-3 years in obviously Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, who won league MVP last year, absolutely lit it up. So we got the two most recent league MVPs And then Deshaun Watson, who is a national champion, big, humongous name coming out of college for what he did against Alabama in championship games, and he's having a successful NFL career now. And so I think these three in particular, along with some other guys who are a little, a few years ahead in Russell Wilson and, maybe one or two more who are approaching 30 or at 30, they're going to be around for a long time. Mahomes just signed a 10-year deal. He's going to be around a long time, and those other two as well.
Also, if they stay healthy, too.
Yep.
As long as they don't take too many hits.
Absolutely. And those guys all like to extend plays and scramble a little bit, so hopefully they can stay healthy. And it'll be interesting to see, whose career comes out to be the best. I'd say, out of those three, Mahomes obviously has a leg up now with a league MVP and a Super Bowl MVP, but my guy, Deshaun Watson, don't be surprised. They came out of the same draft class, and so they're going to be compared for their whole career.
What picks were they? Mahomes was,
they were all, I think so I'm a Texans fan. I think we got him around 12. I can look that up.
Really? 12?
But, so they were all drafted a little lower than
they normally were?
Than obviously what their careers have been, played out to be. Yeah, so Deshaun was 12th overall in the 2017 draft. And Mahomes was, let's see here. I don't know. I don't see it. Oh, 10. So he was 10th. And he, it was really interesting. So I remember watching him in college because I'm a Big 12 football fan, Texas Tech's in the Big 12. And he put up some crazy numbers there. But it was crazy to me how, people, before he even took a snap in the NFL, people really thought he was going to be something. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know how you can be so confident. And people in fantasy leagues were like, I'm taking this guy. He's going to be a freak. And they were right. Everyone was right about him. And so he was number 10. Deshaun was number 12. Mitch Trubisky, whose career has not panned out at all for Chicago, was taking a few picks before them. And so it'll be interesting. Those are two guys that are going to be compared for a while.
When you look at those names, where would you rank them in rings career-wise?
Ooh, so down the line.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to put Deshaun Watson at number 1 because that's my team. So I would love to have him do that. I don't know. Right now, I think you got to go Mahomes with the weapons that he has around him in Kansas City and the coaching that he's got, and the extension. They obviously trust him. He's going to be doing it for a while. You know what? Then I'm just going to go Watson. Then I'll go Lamar. I don't know if Lamar Jackson's. We saw it in the playoffs this year. They went into the playoffs as the easy number 1 seed. They lost their first game pretty embarrassingly to the Titans. And so I don't know exactly.
Tennessee Titans?
So maybe his career won't pan out. It'll pan out, but maybe he's not made for the playoffs. I don't know. He sure wasn't this year. So we'll see.
All right.
We shall see. Anything going on in the world of basketball?
Well, the teams have arrived in Orlando.
Woo!
Which is pretty awesome. What was not awesome was their food.
I saw that, dude. Social media blew up this week. If you haven't seen anything on Twitter or Instagram or Snapchats or whatever of these NBA players, they are apparently suffering down in Orlando. My favorite one was Embiid saying he put a picture on his Instagram story of the food that they had down there, and it looks just like airplane food. It's hilarious. And he's like, well, I'm going to lose 50 pounds while I'm here. And because that guy can eat, let me tell you. There's some other guys, like Troy Daniels posted something just with the emoji where the guy's hands on his face, just really all upset about the food that they're getting. Rondo took a shot at the NBA for the hotel he's staying in.
Oh, really?
He was like, is this like a Motel 6? And it was it looked completely fine to me. And these guys are just spoiled. So it is hilarious about the food. You see anything funny?
Well, what got me was what you told me. Apparently, LeBron James, everyone thought he was there already, and he posted pictures of some delicious tacos.
Yeah, it was Taco Tuesday.
It was Taco Tuesday.
Yep.
Oh man. I'm very surprised that the NBA. I almost said NFL. The NBA isn't have are they do they have professional chefs?
So what I've read is each team, when they get there, they have to self-quarantine for 36 hours or something like that. And then after that, after all the teams have arrived, and the last teams have arrived, so they arrived Tuesday through Thursday, so July 7th through the 9th. Every team is there now, and then after maybe a couple days, they'll have some professional chefs brought in, and you can get what you want as an NBA player. And so it won't be too bad for too long. But yeah, that was hilarious. It was Taco Tuesday. Everyone thought LeBron was getting the treatment because Isaiah Thomas, he saw some of those pictures that the players that were currently in Orlando were posting.
Or old Isaiah?
Small Isaiah.
Okay.
Little IT, and he was posting. He said, "There's no way LeBron's eating that. Like, there's no way you're gonna make the king eat that." And then we'll see. I don't know what LeBron ate, but yeah, it was funny. He wasn't in Orlando yet. He was still in LA, and he posted a picture of Taco Tuesday, just some luxurious tacos.
Oh, speaking of LeBron, did you see the tweet he sent to Mahomes?
Yes.
He said, "Mahomes, congratulations on the deal. Loan me $5.
Loan me $5.
I just had to throw that in because I thought it was funny.
That is funny. That is funny. 24-year-old kid, man. It's crazy. I mean, he grew up.
What would you buy with that money? First off, I can't get over this idea,
dude. I don't even know. Several houses, just
Dude.
like all over the place, and then a lot of cars. I know you'd buy a lot of cars. What would be the first car you'd buy?
The first car
I
would
know
buy with
you'd
that money?
buy a lot of cars.
The 50th anniversary Bay Color Blue Nissan Skyline GTR, and the reason why I want that car so bad. Well, it's the 50th
I knew he'd have an answer.
Yeah, it's the 50th anniversary of the Skyline being made. So it's basically made. The guy who made the engine signed it in it, which is really dope.
That is dope.
And it's got the nice, like, you're basically paying a lot of extra for like a commodity of like a badge that says 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fast. It's like 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
But when you're Patrick Mahomes, you can afford that with ease.
Yeah, it was like only $100,000. What would you buy? Oh, you said houses, right?
Dude, I would buy houses all over.
Have you seen Mahomes' house, by the way?
No.
Already? Like, it's already nice. Like,
Really?
there's not much more you can do with it.
Yeah, I mean, besides buy a few more, I guess. Man, it's crazy. Can you imagine one, like, going back to the LeBron tweet or, comment or whatever he had for Pat? Can you imagine as a 24-year-old, I'm 23, and so I know for a fact Mahomes is, LeBron's been an athlete that Mahomes has looked up to for a long time since he was a little kid, and now you got one of your idols from your generation asking you for $5.
Dude, that's awesome.
How would that feel?
When you gain inspiration from somebody, because, like, I'll never get the chance, R.I.P. Kobe, but, like, I love Kobe so much, but if I had the opportunity to reach out and talk to him, I probably would have done it, like, every day. Be like, hey, he probably would have been like, what? And I would have been like, what you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Do
Exactly.
you think you would fanboy if you got to meet, like, somebody like Mahomes?
100,000%.
Really? I would try to be cool about it. I swear to God, I wouldn't try to fanboy.
So I got a story for you.
Okay.
So, I don't know if I've told you this before. I know some people watching have probably heard, but I was on vacation in Turks and Caicos like 4 or 5 years ago now.
Okay.
I just graduated high school, and
It's a baby chore.
we're just lounging by the pool. Beautiful place, beautiful like resort we got to stay at that my grandmother took us to. Shout out to grandmother. You're definitely not watching. She don't even have internet. She's old.
She don't have internet?
No, she's like
Oh my God.
she just turned 90.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Damn, so she's seen it all.
Yeah, exactly.
She's seen the Great Depression.
So
She's seen this depression.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So we're just chilling outside, and chilling by the pool one day, and we heard rumors that Lionel Messi was at our like resort. The soccer player,
the soccer player?
phenom, dude. I mean, one of the greatest of all time.
Messi
One
or
of them.
Ronaldo? Go.
Messi, easy.
Okay.
And this is probably why. So I'm like, no, he's not. Like, you just saw someone that looked like Messi. You didn't really see Messi. I'm telling my brother or whoever told me that, and I was like, no way. 20 minutes later, Messi walks to the pool. Dude, I was freaking out. I was and I'm not, again, I mentioned on our last show, I'm not a huge soccer fan, but like, I know Messi. I know greatness when I see one, and he's one of the most well-respected, well-known athletes. Oh, yeah, of course. One of the most well-known athletes in all the world, and like, I freaked out. I was cool, like, when I got to go talk to him a little bit, or like, see him, because we asked him for a picture. We got a picture by the pool. It was awesome. But like, beforehand and afterhand, like, while he couldn't see me, I was like on my knees, just like weak, because it was like insane. I could not believe that I was staring at Lionel Messi.
Like from my understanding in soccer, because I don't know very much about it, it's like him and Ronaldo. Like, don't they like? It's like you got to be one or the other, right? You can't. What teams do they even play for?
Pretty much. So Messi's most known for Barcelona, and then what's his face was on. Ronaldo was on Real Madrid. He just recently switched to some team. I forget where. I don't know why. I can't.
Who's got more rings?
Not a big soccer.
Is that like a thing? Do they get rings?
I mean, it is. I guess it's a lot about for those two. It's a lot about like who's got more like player of the year kind of stuff.
Our individual accolades.
Yeah, a lot of individual accolades there. And then World Cup stuff is big. If you bring one home for your country, is huge.
That's a big deal, dude.
Yeah,
and that's like what, every 4 years.
Yep, absolutely. So that's a big deal. But
you know how much that would suck
so I got
if
to
the World
meet
Cup
Messi.
was now? You just thought about that?
It would suck.
Oh, dude, I feel so bad for all the soccer
It would
fans.
suck. I mean, Olympics and stuff have been can't do it. It's crazy.
The Olympics
The
are
world-
supposed to happen?
I don't know, something with,
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, the Olympics.
A lot. I mean, there's always every summer there's huge, multi-country things going on that now can't happen. So it sucks. But yeah, I've got a little game for you. So we've brought up the fact that all the NBA teams have arrived in Orlando.
Okay.
But you want to do me so the Brooklyn Nets made 2 big signings this past year in Kyrie and who?
The Snake.
The Snake, KD.
Yes.
Kevin Durant, and neither of those guys.
He's gonna get so mad. He fights with kids on Twitter.
We won't know it's him though.
Okay.
Neither of those guys are obviously making the trip to Orlando, and KD hasn't played all year. But the Nets are struggling. So we've mentioned the Kings in previous weeks as a team that a lot of COVID, half their team's infected, half their team's not going to Orlando. Well, the Nets might just be worse off. And so they've been making signings. They've been calling up dudes from the G League. They've been calling up Jamal Crawford off his couch. Like, they've been doing whatever they can just to field a roster down in Orlando. And so we're going to play a game called Name That Net.
I'm in trouble.
So what I'm going to do, it is hard. I just prefaced it with something that's going to be difficult. And so good luck. So I'm going to show you a picture. All right. And I'm going to show you a picture of a Brooklyn Net that is going down to Orlando. So you're not going to see KD, you're not going to see Kyrie, you're not going to see Spencer Dinwiddie, etc.
It's the role players.
The role players and bench players and guys off the couch. So I'm going to show you a picture, and you're going to tell me who that is. I actually gave you a list to choose from.
Yes.
Just to make it a little easier for you. All right? So
Okay.
we're going to start with this guy right here. Who is this?
Okay.
Tough one, huh?
Yeah, I don't know any of the.
So
Nets players.
he's a little point guard, like 5'11", out of Florida.
He's not Spencer Dinwiddie.
No.
He ain't Jamal Crawford. Justin Anderson?
Nope.
Who's he?
This is Chris Chiozza out of Florida.
That's disappointing.
Couple years in the league, maybe. I don't know. Maybe G League. I remember watching him play in college. All right, I got another one for you.
Okay. Should I look at the screen as they're scrolling?
Yep. Who's this guy right here?
Oh.
He's been around the league a while.
Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson.
I
Boom.
actually knew that one because of my team.
There we go. Not
I
bad.
get him off my team immediately.
Hey, he's got a little strap on him. 1 for 2. He looks like Mo Schrute from
He's
The
a
Office,
silver
too.
card.
Looks like Mo's.
He's a silver guard. He's got a 70 overall in my team.
All right, next. One of the Nets' best players. Where's he at? Boom. Who's that? Name that net.
I got to look at this list very hard, and I didn't see it, honestly. Troy tried to cheat for me, but I wasn't doing it. Chris Levi, or what's his name?
Karis LeVert.
Karis LeVert, yeah.
Dude's a baller.
That is him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude's a baller. All right, 2 for 3. Not bad, not bad. All right, next one. Let's speed it up a little bit.
I'm trying so hard not to mess this
Who's
up.
this net? Right here.
Oh.
He's been in the league a long time.
Long-time league member. Okay. Tyler Johnson.
No, you already named it.
I know. Chris, what's his name? Chris Chins.
You already got that one.
Oh, I did?
Well, you didn't get it, but close.
TLC.
No.
It's not TLC?
No.
All right, I got one more shot at this. Rodson Kirk? No.
Nope. All right, that is Garrett Temple. Garrett Temple. All right, next one. This one's a little tougher. This guy's fresh out of college. If I can find him right here. Name this net.
That one right there?
Yep.
TLC.
False.
Oh.
He's kind of got a more normal name on that list.
What's that? Jeremiah Martin? No.
Yes, Jeremiah Martin, correct, out of Memphis.
I actually got that one right.
All right. Now, we got another one. This guy has been in the league a while. If I can find him.
This was Guess That Laker. I had their shit down pat.
Yep. I can't find him. I'll just show you another picture. Let's see.
It's so sad. I'm not.
Who's this net?
Justin Anderson.
Justin Anderson, very good. Out of UVA. He's been in the league a while. He was on the Sixers last year. He was on the G League, I think, for the Nets this year before they got the call up. All right, couple more. Who is this net? Newly acquired.
Oh, Josh Hart.
No.
Oh, Michael Beasley. I got.
Because you saw the Lakers uniform.
Yeah, I did.
Michael Beasley, that is correct.
Your reaction to that was probably, you're like, what?
All right, who's this guy?
Josh Hart. No, I'm playing. That's
And if you can pronounce it, I'll give you double points.
TLC.
Yes, TLC. The only reason I call him TLC because he used to be on the Sixers. We drafted him. Try and pronounce that name.
Tomato, lettuce, and cabbage.
Close. Timothé Luwawu Cabarro.
I was very close.
I like that. That was good. That was. I hope no one hears that because they might start calling him that.
Imagine we just started something.
All right. Next one. There's a couple more we got.
Very offended. I have yet to see Josh Hart.
Who is this net? Right here.
Oh, Josh Hart.
No.
Oh, really?
Josh Hart's not on the Nets.
Oh yeah, Joe Harrison.
Joe Harris.
That's what I keep saying.
Joe Harris, another UVA guy. Kid's got a strap in the
wait a
three-point
minute,
contest.
He's a 3-point shooter,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
I'm
he
an
is.
idiot.
Dude's got a rifle on his arm. All right,
calm down there.
Harder one right here. Where's he at? Name this net.
Scalabrine.
Close. Jonan Musa.
He looks like Scalabrine.
This is the one guy on the Nets roster I have never even heard of.
So he's the White Mamba.
Yeah, exactly. Here's another one. I remember seeing this guy play. This guy right here. Name that net. There's only a couple more left in that word bank.
Rosenkirksson.
Close. Rodion Kuruts.
I'm dyslexic, so this game.
I really know how to do his last name. Kuruts. All right, and then we've got this guy. Who's that?
Jamal Allen or whatever his name is.
Jared Allen out of Texas, and then their newest addition, Jamali Crawford.
Jamal handles the God Crawford.
Jamal Crawford, the newest addition to the Nets.
I just came up with that on the fly.
And so, nice. I mean, we were like 5 or 6 more COVID cases from getting signed to the Nets because, I mean, they're just picking up guys left and right, it seems like. They might pick up some guys from, I mean, there still might not be done.
You see Tony Allen come out of retirement.
Yeah, exactly. You just never know what's going to happen. So that was Name That Net. Manny, not bad. Not bad.
I did all right.
Not bad for the Nets. Again,
I don't know the Nets at all.
It's a tough. No one knows these Nets. I mean, this is not the Nets that they were supposed to be this year. And so, and there's been a couple other signings around the league. So I think Joakim Noah got put on a team
recently.
They're
going to get Jason Kidd out of retirement and play for them?
Yeah, maybe.
They're going to get Julius Erving out of retirement and play for them?
Yep. And then your boys officially got JR. How do you feel?
He adds range. It's really hard to say anything that isn't related to him choking and not knowing what the time was in the finals.
I was about to say that.
So, I mean, when it comes to JR, I mean, I've seen some clips of him in, like, the Cavaliers days. Because, like, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, JR was good when he was a Nugget. He was.
Of course, and a Knick.
I mean, and as a Knick, he won 6th Man of the Year as a Knick. But, I mean, as of lately, it's like it's really hard to, like, say anything positive about him. He's the Henny God.
He is.
He's got a Supreme tattoo on his leg.
He's a veteran, right? I mean, he's not...
Yeah, he's been there, so, I mean, like...
He's definitely been there.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. Losing Avery Bradley, I mean, it's not a bad pickup. Obviously, they're different players.
They're very different players.
Yeah, but, I mean, same position, different players.
Like, not to put JR down, but as a Laker, I would rather have Avery Bradley for defense.
Of course, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how that pans out. It's also LeBron week. Happy LeBron week.
Happy LeBron week.
You know why it's LeBron week?
Because I hate to inform you, Troy, but I'm taking the show to South Beach.
I wish we were going to South Beach right now. So LeBron, 10 years ago this week, made his infamous, or whatever you want to call it, decision to take his talents to South Beach. And then, of course, later on that week, there was the big festival, or whatever you want to call it, parade.
Oh, it was like a big, like they were on stage. And I remember they played that, the Monstar music. It was like, dun-dun-dun-dun. And it was like...
I remember watching that.
Awesome.
I remember after that, I ordered a LeBron jersey. I was like, dude, this is going to be cool.
Oh, I ordered a Mahomes jersey. Did I tell you that?
No, really?
I did. It's sick.
Wow.
Yeah, $40.
Not bad. Not bad.
Got
From China, I assume.
Oh,
I hope it doesn't have COVID coming over with it.
I'll bring it on. Yum, I love it.
And then that was also the time LeBron not 1,
not 2,
not 3,
not 4,
not 5,
not 6, 5,
Not 6, not 7.
not 8.
I forget how high they went. Maybe 8, 7
I
or
think
8.
it was 8, yeah.
And they came out with 2.
They came out with 2.
So what
out
do
of
you
4
think?
years together, though. Keep that in mind.
So 4 years, the Miami Big 3 dynasty. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, when someone says that, I have to take it as a joke. But I mean, if you're a Miami Heat fan and you're from Miami, I would take it as serious as possible if LeBron James is saying it. I mean, there's a lot of debate up in the air saying, was that dynasty even really successful? I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard that, right?
Of course.
I mean, first off, do you think it was successful?
I do. I mean, I think, without any bias, without any, recollection, of course, of that moment where he's saying not 5, not 6, whatever. I mean, it's got to be successful. If you're going to tell me, would you take 2 rings out of 4 years and be in the championship the other 2 years? I'm going to take that 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree with
and
you.
I think some people bring up the fact that, well, a lot of people like to hold LeBron's losses in the finals against him.
It's a miracle just to get there, dude.
It is a miracle to get there. I think...
but at that particular time, though, what was the competition like in the East? Because you still have the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean...
For, like, that sliver of time that they were still there.
Yeah. I don't even know. The Magic were around a little bit. Rose...
Were they? Oh, the Bulls. I forgot about...
Bulls.
Well, they went down due to injury.
Yeah, I don't really remember. But still, it's impressive to get to the finals, and, you shouldn't hold that against them. So 2 rings out of 4 years, not bad for that Big 3 era.
I would say, to play devil's advocate, I would say 50% isn't bad, but you could have done more. And the reason why I say that is because that loss to the Dallas Mavericks should have never happened if LeBron would have just showed up. You know what I mean? Because they had that. Because the Dallas Mavericks, from what I remember, a couple of their players got injured on the way to the finals, but Dirk just went into German Jesus mode and just went off. But, I mean, they still had a better roster. I think they should have walked out with 3. I think they should have walked out with all 4, personally, because that loss to the Spurs, they lost to them the second time? Or the first? No, second.
Sure. Yeah.
Because they had to beat them. So, I mean, think about any great player who meets another team in the finals like Michael Jordan. If that was Michael Jordan, they would have never lost the second time because Magic could beat Utah twice. Why can't LeBron beat the Spurs twice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Duncan was over the hill. Manu was just barely pulling us together. I mean, I'll say this, though. Dwayne Wade was limping that last series, though. He was a little over the hill.
Yep, and I think another thing that speaks into, this dynasty wasn't a success or whatever, they should have done more, is just the fact that it was only 4 years. Dynasties aren't a 4-year thing, really. I mean,
what would you range a dynasty from? Because I'm actually genuinely asking.
Longer. I mean,
longer than 4 years?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you win 4 rings in 4 years, it can be a dynasty. And I don't know, maybe people don't even refer to it as a dynasty, but dynasties are like the Patriots.
Yeah, that's like 5 numerous rings.
5 rings over a span of 18 years or whatever, and then the Spurs
Bulls are 6 and 8.
Yeah, exactly. And I think some more longevity. It was just a very quick period.
Well,
Not that it wasn't a successful one, but it was quick. And if they were able to hang around for 7 years and let's say have 7 trips to the finals and they win 4 of them, I mean that's talking real success and longevity as well.
Well, did you know who was supposed to go with them besides Bosch, right?
Who?
It was Melo.
Yeah.
Because at that particular time in 2010, I don't know if you remember, but all the for whatever reason, it was just a weird coincidence that all the players' contracts were expiring that year. So they had to have a player summit because the league knew that basically when you're a free agent, you have the right to go anywhere you want. Because people always bring up the Chris Paul going to the Lakers and they vetoed it. Yep. So that people said, well, the league could have just vetoed a super team being made. They couldn't because when you're a free agent, you have the right to go wherever you want. The Chris Paul thing, it was a contract because the leagues had ownership of the Charlotte New Orleans Hornets. I think that's what they were called at the time because they went through a franchise change before they were
Bobcats.
Pelicans.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it was. But I mean, if Melo didn't just waited 6 more months, he could have had more rings to his name, which I find ridiculous, and probably would have been better off because,
of course,
of
course, yeah, it's interesting. That's interesting that you bring up Melo. So, a couple shows back, you remember what we did?
We did. Who you taking?
Who you taking segment that we introduced. So basically, who you taking is a segment where we just compare 2 players. It could be 2 teams. It could be 2. It's mostly gonna be 2 players, I think. Yeah, comparing them maybe in a situation and who you gonna take. Whether it's 1-on-1 against each other, whether it's just their careers as a whole, whether it's in a finals, whether it's you need to stop on defense, who you gonna take, that kind of thing. So we did Melo and T-Mac. talking about getting buckets, and I think you took T-Mac, I took Melo.
Yeah.
And
think
today
about that.
we've got another interesting one. What is it?
We got Duncan, the big fundamentals, and Timmy, and we got the big ticket Garnett, Kevin Garnett.
Big ticket. So thoughts? Who you taking?
Hands down,
where are we going?
I'm taking Garnett.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking Garnett every time. Well, most of the time.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Like, it depends on what you like. I think for this show, I think we'll form a team that best supports that person in scoring and defense, right? So like, what point guard, shooting guards, center, small forward that you would put around that particular person. I mean, so when it comes to Kevin Garnett, what I would do, I would just build the most meanest, nastiest team I possibly could. No, serious. Like, my small forward would be Ron Artest. My center position would be probably Bill Laimbeer. Shooting guard position would probably be who's a nasty shooting guard? Someone that would just get under your... Probably Jordan, right?
Tony Allen? I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, no. I'll take Tony Allen because that personality works well.
I mean, this team's not going to be any good, but they'll be mean.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they would complement each other.
They'll be okay.
And then at point guard, I'm taking Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
Who would you put around Tim Duncan, though?
I don't know who I'd put around Tim Duncan, but I know who I'd put around KG.
Well, who do you put around KG?
Tim Duncan's team. Can you imagine if they traded spot? Yeah, if Tim Duncan if KG spent his career on the Spurs, I wonder how many rings he would have got, or I wonder how
Probably
much success they would have had in place of Timmy D. You know what I mean?
5 or 6,
it's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
Interesting to think about.
KG also what's very interesting about the two is they all had opportunities to go to like really good, like I wouldn't say really good teams, but like teams that could have possibly changed because Garnett, what I found out recently was he had a chance to be a Laker and team up with Kobe, but they would have had to give up Lamar Odom and somebody else. I don't remember who it was. And Duncan had an opportunity to go to Orlando. So imagine what their careers would look like if they would have went there too.
Absolutely. It's pretty interesting. I mean, these two that we're comparing today won 3 straight league MVPs. 01,
really?
Yeah. So Timmy D won back-to-back in 01 and 02 into the 03 calendar year, and then KG won the next year.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Year. So, I mean, a dominant time to be a power forward in the league. And so, obviously, these guys, pretty similar careers, pretty similar numbers, and things like that. Let's see, KG came into the league. He debuted in 1995.
Damn it, I was close.
And Timmy...
1998.
I think so.
Because then he won in 1999.
Yeah, I think so. And so...
I'm a Timmy fan.
Very similar careers. Points per game, rebounds, that kind of thing.
Is Tim Duncan a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, so they both actually got inducted. Another way that they're both similar. They both, got inducted the same year, 2020.
That's awesome. Did they do their speeches, or was that put on pause?
I have no
I need to see those.
Idea.
Wasn't Kobe supposed to be in the same draft too? I mean,
they moved him up or something.
Did they?
Yeah,
gotcha.
I think so. So I don't remember exactly what happened with the Hall of Fame induction in this year. But yeah, one big difference I think between the two, they obviously, KG played how many seasons? He played a lot. He played like 18 years.
Who would really compliment these two well as I look at it from the point guard position? Steve Nash.
Yeah, of course.
Because Steve Nash had Amari Stoudemire, so put even a better power forward
there.
Yep,
that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I think one difference between the two of them is KG kind of went out. Obviously his time in Brooklyn was a little whack. His finishing up in Minnesota was a little odd. I mean, doing not a whole lot down there.
What's funny too is they dominate the game, but they dominate in such very different ways. Because KG's I'm a pound on my chest and I'm gonna insult you. Timmy's more like, I'm just gonna go out there and have fun.
Yeah.
Just dominate quietly. But what was funny too was Kevin Garnett told the story. I think it was on the Knuckleheads show. He was like, yeah, actually the guy who would hit me the most with insults and I couldn't get under his skin was Timmy. And he goes, because Timmy wouldn't hit you with verbal things. He hit you with sounds. He'd be like, got him. Ooh, to the left. And it was like, good elbow, little fella, or something like that. And I was like, wow, I never expected that from Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Because you don't
subtle
see him talk.
things.
Yeah.
Get in your head, under your skin in just unique ways, I guess. I don't know if you've noticed.
What's up?
But I got the TBT on in my house.
The TBT?
So we're going to head to overtime and talk about that a little bit. So the basketball tournament, I've been just promoting over the last few weeks because there's not a whole lot else going on in the sports world, but on ESPN, We got right
Not
now.
sure.
We got
Taco
like
Tuesday.
Dayton alumni against Illinois alumni team, and so Joe Johnson's in this year, and he played well yesterday for Overseas Elite. They came out with a win yesterday. There's a lot of upsets going on. So Ohio State, I remember, I mentioned that they won it all last year. They won this tournament. They got knocked out in their first game.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and so some crazy stuff going on. Marshall alumni team, which is like, okay, who cares about Marshall? But they're making some noise, and I think they play Overseas Elite tomorrow. So Marshall alumni beat the Money team, which is like Floyd Mayweather's team. So they took them out.
Wow. Okay.
And the Floyd Mayweather's team had like 6, I think, former NBA players.
Really?
And Marshall alumni
Keyword there was former, so they're
took
old.
them out. Well, not necessarily. I mean,
Who was on
still
his
a
team
lot of
anyway?
them. I forget. A lot of them are still playing overseas. Just some form or whatever of NBA experience. And then, I mean, Joe Johnson's easily the biggest name in the tournament, and they are playing.
I feel like Joe Johnson didn't get enough credit for the time that he was good.
No, he doesn't. He does not. I was looking at some of his numbers today.
Ridiculous.
He did it for a long time and did it very well.
Yeah.
I saw something. I could be completely wrong. I think it was Joe Johnson, but I know it was Joe Johnson. But I think there are only 8 or 9 NFL players that have made more money than Joe Johnson.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So Joe Johnson was the highest paid player in the NBA at one point.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. And so
You don't talk about him. Nobody talks about him.
Well, he's quiet.
I guess.
He didn't talk about himself. He just went out there and did business. And so, that just even shows he's playing in some tournament, some summer ball, just because he loves the game of basketball. And, you can add Mahomes to that list now of guys who are going to get paid more than him. But on all of those guys were, of course, quarterbacks.
I think that list
here
is going to
recently.
grow, though, as just time goes on.
Yep, the more and more the NFL players make. So, yeah, again, ESPN networks, we're getting down to, I think, like we're in the quarterfinals now in this tournament. Again, it's 10 days, one location, Columbus, Ohio. They're all quarantined and whatnot and taking care of business. So I think they're actually doing a really good job of it. It's a good model for the NBA teams down in Orlando to follow.
Yeah, just copy and paste, really.
Yeah, in terms of how to manage it, how to do testing and everything, how they're going to do it. And so, yeah, winner take all, $1 million. If you're looking for something to watch, tune in to the TBT.
Well, that was a good promotion, Troy, considering we're not getting paid for it. But I will watch. You got it on right now, so I'll
Yeah,
show.
man. It's good basketball.
This is our overtime segment, so this is anything that we haven't included. So I want to throw in something literally off the cuff. So you know how I love cars, right?
I do.
You don't really care for cars, right?
I mean, not like you.
Yeah, not like me.
If it gets me from point A to point B, I'm good.
I love Dodge. That's just how I am.
Really?
Yes. So basically, what I want to say is, I gotta buy this new car, and the reason why is because it's the Dodge called Superstock. Now, basically, what that means is it's got 807 horsepower. Troy, can you think about that real quick?
It's a lot.
That
I don't know
absurd.
much, but I know it's a lot.
Do you want that car?
Sure.
You do?
I mean, I don't know.
It's scary. In the wrong hands, you could really hurt somebody. Like even that car, because I just have like a base model, and it's not really. It's like it's got a V8.
It's not that.
Yeah, it's not that. But I am getting that car. I want that to be known on this podcast. Well, I'll do whatever it takes to get that car.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell.
We'll see. Time will tell.
That and the GTR.
But we're out of time, and I'm going to go watch some hoops. We got a game coming down the wire, so I'm kind of watching that right now from this angle.
Really? Is that why you wanted this angle?
Yeah, man. You know me. But yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, if you have any suggestions or want to give us some feedback or anything like that, you can email that to the baseline, not the Baseline FaceTime Podcast at gmail.com. Again, follow our Instagram page, Baseline FaceTime Podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Also, like, comment, and subscribe YouTube and Apple Podcast.
Peace.
See ya.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Baseline FaceTime Podcast. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.